We're coming up to that special time of year called vintage. Now, for those of you that don't know, vintage is the time that we harvest the grapes and process them into wine, which we then age into barrel. We are looking at the vineyards at the moment because we've just seen, we're seeing the evolution of the berries, and you can see the bunches are fully formed. This is Shiraz in our old vineyard. We have a little bit of what's called hen and chicken, which is that little tiny chick berry. Overall, the quality looks pretty good at this stage. It's been an interesting season so far. In the winter back in 2013, we had a reasonably cool period and we had some reasonable rainfall. But the defining factor of this vintage was a reasonably cold spring. So in certain varieties like Cabernet and Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay, we saw a poor fruit set because the flowers didn't turn into fruit. But the Shiraz seems to have fared up pretty well. We also, in this vineyard, which is our old vines, which are dry grown, so there's no irrigation at all, it's all the natural moisture in the soil. We put on a thick layer of straw, and you can see how the soil's kind of gone into little balls. That's all the earthworm activity in the soil that's turned those little pellets of soil into nutrients. So we've given these vines a good start to the year. I mean, these old vines typically don't produce much fruit anyway, so they kind of need all the help they can get. Apart from the spring, which was quite cool, and we had some rainfall, it's been dry. The past week we had a heat wave through Victoria, which caused a few bushfires near us. These vines have fared pretty well because we've retained the moisture with the mulch, and they've got lovely deep roots that go down and source moisture from the subsoils. But with the bushfires, we've been very lucky. We had bushfires within 10 kilometres of us on the Black Range. There was also significant bushfires in the Grampians that burnt close to 60,000 hectares. But the prevailing winds were going away from us, so we saw no smoke in the vineyard at all. In terms of the heat, you can see there's a little bit of stress in the vines, a few burnt leaves. But overall, they've kept the canopy pretty well. So as long as we don't have too many more heat events, it should be a good vintage.